What's poppin', dogs? Mr. Allen here with a video on factoring, specifically greatest common factor, which is usually the first type of factoring that you learn, and it is the easiest, but we often forget about it, don't practice it, and then struggle with it come test time. So let's do these 4 examples together, and if you guys have any questions, pop them in the comments. First one, I've got 10x squared plus 16x. Well, what do they have in common? They are even numbers, so at least 2. Maybe, no, it looks like it's 2. 10 is divisible by 2, 16 is divisible by 2. And they also both have an x in common, so I'll take an x out as well. Now, what's left over here? Well, 10 divided by 2 is 5, and if I took an x out of an x squared, I'm left with just x. Right? You can think about 10x squared as like 10, and then x, and I took one of these x's out, either one, whichever one you want. I only took one out because this guy only has 1 to give, okay? So that's how that all breaks down. I'm left with one of these x's here. I divided this by 2, so I'm left with the 5. All right? Now I'm going to do the same thing, but with the 16x. So I have plus, if I divided 16 by 2, when I took out that 2, I'm left with 8. And I took out its only x, so I'm left with just the 5x plus 8, that binomial inside those parentheses, okay? And as we can clearly see here, they don't have a common factor. I can't go any further, right? I was looking for a 4 initially, possibly. Was not the case. Just 2 as well as an x. Cool? Dope. Next one. Let's go over to the top right here. I've got 4x squared minus 2x. Well, what are those both divisible by? They are both divisible by 2 again and x again, actually. It's the same greatest common factor, but the finish of this problem is going to look a little bit different, okay? So I can divide both by 2x, and now I'm left with, let's see here, 4 divided by 2 is 2, and I took out one of the x's. There we go. And then I have minus 2x. I took out the whole 2x, so am I done? No. Anytime you take out the entire term right there, I do need a placeholder. In this case, it's minus 1. If that was plus, it would be plus 1. Okay? So if I take out that entire term, you can't just get rid of it and have nothing there. You need a 1 as its placeholder, because if I'm to distribute this back in, and you don't have to do this, okay? Not right now anyways, because we're looking to factor. This is our answer when we are factoring. But if I were to distribute, I'd have 2x times 2x, which is 4x squared. 2x times negative 1 is negative 2x. I get back to my original problem. Super important to know that, right? If I distribute it back in, do I get the original? Yes, okay? So these are my final answers for these first 2. I didn't circle them. You got to circle your answers. Come on. Come on, man. Can't believe I forgot. That's like the best part. You're like, I'm done. Circle them. All right, let's see here. What's my next color? I'm going to go with, how about, we'll do white. Okay. Now, what do these have in common? They're both divisible by 5, but I don't have an x to give on both of them. This is the only one with an x, so it's just 5 coming out, and I'm left with x minus 5, because 25 divided by 5 is 5. Boom. Final answer. Nice and easy. Ooh, and this last one here, we got 2 variables. Interesting, okay? Well, they are both divisible by 3, so I can jot that down first. Then let's look at our x's. I got x squared, I've got x. What's the most that I can take out? Just an x, okay? And then how about I got y's here? They both have a y, so I can take out a y as well. And now, let's get our parentheses ready. This guy got divided by 3xy. What's left over? I've got a 3. That's gone. Got an x squared, but I took out an x, so you got an x left. And then y divided by y, that guy's taken out as well. So the only thing left in this particular term is just that x. How about my second term? Well, here I divided 6 by 3, leaving me with 2, so minus 2. But I took out the x and the y, so that is it. Final answer, 3xy times the quantity x minus 2. Boom. Greatest common factor. Do not sleep on this one, guys, because greatest common factor comes back in every other type of factoring. You could have different types of factoring, but you should start with greatest common factor. Or when you learn factor by grouping, you're using greatest common factor. So super, super, super important skill to keep in the back of your head. Practice it from time to time, because we often forget about it, even though it's like the easiest one, and then you lose those easy points on a test. Thanks for watching, you guys. Have a wonderful day. And if you are watching through a playlist here, keep on factoring. See you later.